Robert was 72 when he first noticed something unusual. Each night as he went to bed, his feet felt slightly numb. Sometimes there was a faint tingling in his toes. Other nights, it felt like a mild burning sensation that made it harder to relax and fall asleep. At first, he didn't think much about it. Like many people, Robert assumed it was simply part of getting older. Maybe his circulation wasn't as strong as it used to be, or maybe he was just tired after a long day. But over time, the feeling started appearing more often. What Robert didn't realize is that millions of older adults experience these early nerve symptoms without understanding the cause. Nerves act like tiny electrical wires that carry signals throughout the body. When those signals begin to weaken or misfire, sensations like tingling, numbness, or burning can start to appear. What Robert didn't know was that something in his daily routine was quietly damaging the nerves in his body. To understand how that can happen, we first need to understand why nerves can be damaged so easily. The problem is that nerves repair themselves very slowly. Unlike muscles or skin, which can recover relatively quickly, nerves are delicate and take much longer to heal. Once they begin to weaken or lose their protective coating, recovery becomes more difficult, and damage can quietly continue before obvious symptoms appear. That's why the earliest signs of nerve trouble often seem small: a little tingling, slight numbness, or a strange burning feeling in the feet at night. These signals may seem harmless at first, but they often mean the nerves are already under stress. And in many cases, that stress is coming from something far more common than most people realize, something many seniors are exposed to every single day. Before we move on, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Senior Revival, where simple changes for seniors can lead to a powerful, healthy comeback. So what was quietly damaging Robert's nerves? It wasn't a rare toxin or some mysterious chemical exposure. In many cases, the worst poison destroying nerves is something far more common: chronic blood sugar toxicity. This often surprises people because they immediately think nerve damage only happens to people with diabetes. But nerves are extremely sensitive to repeated exposure to high levels of sugar in the bloodstream. Every time blood sugar rises sharply, the body releases insulin to push that sugar into cells. When this happens occasionally, the body usually manages it without long-term problems. The real danger appears when those spikes happen again and again. Many older adults live for years with prediabetes, meaning blood sugar levels run higher than normal, but not high enough to trigger a formal diagnosis. During that time, nerves may already be exposed to elevated sugar levels on a regular basis, and nerves do not handle that environment well. Excess sugar in the bloodstream begins triggering several damaging processes inside the body. Inflammation increases, irritating delicate nerve fibers. At the same time, oxidative stress develops, where unstable molecules begin damaging nerve cells from within. Another problem involves the protective coating around nerves, often compared to insulation around electrical wires. This protective layer helps signals travel smoothly through the nervous system. When it begins to weaken, nerve signals can become disrupted. Blood sugar toxicity can also damage the tiny blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients to nerves. When circulation to those nerves decreases, the tissue becomes weaker and more vulnerable to further damage. This process rarely happens overnight. Instead, it develops slowly, often over many years, while the nerves are repeatedly exposed to conditions that slowly wear them down. And the body usually tries to warn us when this damage begins. Long before severe nerve damage appears, many people start experiencing small signals that something is wrong. When nerves begin struggling, the body often sends warning signals. At first, these signs can be subtle. Many people notice a light tingling sensation in their toes or the bottoms of their feet. Others feel a mild numbness that comes and goes during the day. Sometimes it feels like the foot has fallen asleep, even though nothing obvious caused it. Another common signal is a burning sensation, especially at night when the body is resting. Some people describe it as warmth or irritation that makes it difficult to relax or fall asleep comfortably. These early sensations are often dismissed because they seem minor, but they can be the first indication that nerves are under stress. If the underlying cause continues, the changes may slowly become more noticeable. Some people begin losing sensitivity in their feet or fingers. Balance may feel slightly less stable when walking. Others notice weakness in the legs, making it harder to stand for long periods or move confidently. Because these changes develop gradually, many people adjust to them without realizing what is happening. And that's why recognizing these early signals matters. But nerve damage doesn't develop on its own. In many cases, it is quietly fueled by daily habits that keep exposing nerves to the same damaging conditions. If chronic blood sugar toxicity is the poison damaging nerves, the next question becomes obvious. Where is it coming from? In many cases, the source is not something dramatic. It often comes from everyday eating habits that seem harmless at first. One of the biggest contributors is liquid sugar. Drinks like fruit juice, sweetened coffee beverages, sports drinks, and even many smoothies can raise blood sugar extremely quickly. Because liquids contain little or no fiber, sugar enters the bloodstream almost immediately. That rapid spike forces the body to release large amounts of insulin, and when this pattern repeats day after day, it places constant stress on nerves. Another common source comes from refined carbohydrates. Foods like white bread, breakfast cereal, pasta, crackers, and many snack foods break down into sugar very quickly after digestion. When eaten alone, they can cause blood sugar to rise sharply, creating the same damaging environment for nerves. Many people believe these foods are harmless because they are so common, but the body processes them much faster than most people realize. There's also another habit that quietly worsens the problem: constant snacking. When people eat small carbohydrate-heavy snacks throughout the day, insulin levels remain elevated for long periods. The body never gets a chance to return to a stable state, and nerves remain exposed to fluctuating sugar levels. Over time, this pattern creates the perfect conditions for nerve damage to progress. But blood sugar spikes are not the only factor that can accelerate neuropathy. There are also hidden issues inside the body that make nerves even more vulnerable. While blood sugar spikes play a major role in nerve damage, they are often not the only factor involved. In many older adults, neuropathy develops faster because the nerves are already weakened by nutrient deficiencies. Nerves depend on certain nutrients to maintain their structure and function. One of the most important is vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 helps maintain the protective coating around nerves, the same insulation that allows signals to travel properly through the nervous system. When B12 levels fall too low, that protective layer can weaken, leaving nerve fibers more exposed and fragile. Magnesium also plays an important role in nerve health. It supports normal nerve signaling and helps regulate muscle and nerve communication throughout the body. Low magnesium levels can make nerve irritation worse. Another nutrient that works alongside B12 is folate, which helps support nerve repair and healthy blood flow to nerve tissue. The challenge is that many people don't realize they are deficient in these nutrients. In some cases, the cause isn't diet at all. Certain medications can gradually reduce the body's ability to absorb important vitamins. Acid-blocking medications, some diabetes treatments, and certain cholesterol drugs may interfere with nutrient absorption when used for long periods. This doesn't mean people should stop taking medications on their own, but it does highlight how multiple factors can quietly weaken nerves over time. When blood sugar spikes combine with nutrient deficiencies and reduced circulation, the nervous system becomes far more vulnerable to damage. Fortunately, there is one simple rule that can significantly reduce the stress placed on nerves every day. When it comes to protecting nerves, one eating habit makes a bigger difference than most people realize. It's the habit of eating carbohydrates by themselves. Foods like bread, cereal, crackers, or pasta are often eaten alone, especially as snacks or quick meals. But when carbohydrates are eaten without anything else, they can raise blood sugar very quickly. That rapid spike forces the body to release a large amount of insulin, creating the same unstable conditions that place stress on nerves. A simple change can make a meaningful difference. Instead of eating carbohydrates alone, combine them with protein or healthy fats. Foods like eggs, yogurt, nuts, fish, or avocado help slow the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. This helps prevent sharp spikes and keeps blood sugar levels more stable. Small changes like this can reduce the daily stress placed on the nervous system. And there are also several simple habits that can help protect nerves even further. Protecting your nerves doesn't always require complicated treatments. In many cases, small daily habits can make a meaningful difference. The first step is keeping blood sugar levels stable. Instead of relying on large portions of refined carbohydrates, try building meals that include a balance of protein, healthy fats, and fiber. Foods like fish, eggs, beans, nuts, vegetables, and whole foods digest more slowly and help prevent sharp blood sugar spikes. Another helpful change is reducing liquid sugar. Fruit juice, sweetened drinks, and many packaged beverages can raise blood sugar very quickly. Replacing these drinks with water, unsweetened tea, or whole fruits can significantly reduce those sudden spikes. Supporting nerve nutrients is also important. Ensuring adequate intake of vitamin B12 and magnesium helps maintain nerve function and supports the protective coating around nerve fibers. Many people obtain these nutrients through foods such as fish, eggs, leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. In some cases, healthcare providers may recommend supplements if levels are low. Movement also plays a surprisingly important role. Even gentle activity, such as walking for 10 to 15 minutes after meals, helps the body use circulating glucose more efficiently. This reduces the amount of sugar remaining in the bloodstream and improves circulation to nerve tissue. These changes may seem simple, but when practiced consistently, they can help reduce the stress placed on nerves every day. And taking action early is important, because nerve damage becomes much harder to manage once it progresses too far. With neuropathy, timing matters. Early on, nerves can still recover if you address the cause, like managing blood sugar, improving nutrition, and supporting circulation. But over time, damage can become permanent and harder to manage. That's why early signs, tingling, numbness, or burning shouldn't be ignored. Healthy nerves are essential for balance, movement, and independence. Protecting them now can make a big difference later. Sometimes, the most important step is simply listening to your body. Neuropathy doesn't happen overnight. It builds up over time, but that also means you have time to act. Small changes like better blood sugar control, proper nutrients, and daily habits can reduce nerve stress. Your nerves affect how you move, balance, and stay independent. Take care of them today for a stronger tomorrow. We're building a community here to support your strong, healthy comeback. If this helped you, I'd truly appreciate a like and if you subscribe. And join me in the next video for another simple step toward better health.